Hi, I'm Philip Hundl. I'm an attorney practicing in Texas with a focus on land litigation, representing landowners facing condemnation cases typically. Also, my practice area focuses on representing undivided interest owners dividing property in partition suits. What I'd like to talk today about is a lot of cases that I'm seeing and a lot of calls I'm getting related to Atmos Energy company or corporation. And Atmos, it's a public utility. And I'm seeing these all throughout the state: Ector County, Collins County, Archer County, Parker County, even Brazos County, College Station. So lots of different places. Atmos has a lot of activity going on. Either they're installing new pipelines, replacing old pipelines, relocating pipelines, and primarily they're working through or utilizing old pipeline easements. And so, and what we're seeing clients that, or landowners that are really unaware of these old easement agreements that are burdening or encumbering their land until they get a knock on the door or a call from Atmos. And typically it's the Atmos in-house right-of-way acquisition folks that contact them and let them know, hey, guess what? We're going to have our crews on your property within a few days, and ripping up existing trees, landscaping, sidewalks, you name it, play sets, children's play sets right next to their house to install new lines or relocating lines. And so this, once again, getting a lot of calls on these. I want to just kind of bring it to everyone's attention that, number one, if you own land, be very familiar with what easements possibly burden the property. And if you're thinking about purchasing property, then definitely be aware before you close the deal on the land what easements do affect your property. Now, a lot of these old, I call them old Atmos easements, are actually, they weren't with Atmos, they were with, pipeline companies long ago that have then possibly been assigned to Atmos. And so that's the very first thing is we always ask Atmos, well, show us the authority or why you believe you have rights or an easement right to do what you're planning to do on the landowner's property. So, we want them to produce that old easement agreement or that easement agreement that they think they have authority to come on the property and go ahead and start working. So oftentimes we'll get this very old 1920s, 1930s, or 40s easement agreement that they say applies to the landowner's land. Back in the 1920s and 30s, that easement may have been acquired over a 2,000 acre ranch, and now lo and behold, the 2,000 acre ranch has been subdivided and sold off over time, and you've got landowners with 5 acres, 10 acres, and they unfortunately have this sometimes a blanket easement over the whole property for multiple lines. And so we look at once we see the old easement agreement that they claim applies to the land, then we look at what does it say, what are the provisions, what are the rights of the pipeline company, and what are the rights retained by the landowner. And we look at, does it mention multiple lines, plural, or single lines, or specific width, or no additional space can be used or used by the pipeline company, grantee of the easement. So lots of different things we look at, and then also what does it say about damages if landowners damaged due to subsequent activity, operation, maintenance of the pipeline or pipelines by the grantee, in this case Atmos. Then what what are Atmos's obligations to the landowner? So we take a look at all those things, but I bring this to your attention because once again, it seems like there's quite a bit of activity right now related to these Atmos, either new lines, replacement lines, relocation of lines, and many times it's the probably the potential. Well, the first line was a 3-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch line, and now they're coming back in with an 18-inch line, a much larger line. So, and oftentimes these lines are located extremely close to houses, residents, improvements, barns, whatever. And so If you're a landowner that's being faced with or being contacted by a pipeline company in this, particular situation, Atmos, then be aware that you've got rights. Be aware that you need to ask questions and get more information from Atmos if you're not getting it. So then you can take that to an attorney that specializes in this type of work to analyze, review the easement agreement, interpret it, and better explain your rights. So with that, good luck. Thanks.